Hotel Echo Lima Lima Oscar. Do allow me to say my greetings for the first time in over a week. So it's good evening from South East London, England, from your host, your guy himself, the one and only and truly DLG Repping, aka short for Delhi London Guna. Space Romeo Echo Papa Papa Indigo November. Now I know it's been over a week since I last done a live stream on StreamYard itself, and ladies and gentlemen, to the boys, to the girls, it's been unacceptable. I've not even written in the comments section or in the area where in the notification area about what I've been doing, why I've not been doing my live streams. Basically, I needed a rest, and plus amongst other personal issues and battles that I'm going through. But do forgive me. I hope you do forgive me. I hope you do understand. So, good evening and welcome to another match day preview on this live StreamYard involving the Gunners. Yes, we're away to Nottingham Forest tomorrow night, and I'm not overly confident. Honestly, I'm not overly confident, nowhere near. If I'm being honest, our record at the City Ground in the league has been abysmal over the years. Let's be real about it. Forest, they seem to raise their game against us when we come to town. And I don't expect anything different. Under Steve Cooper, I would have been quietly more confident. With Nuno Espirito Santo at the helm, he's going to have them well drilled, well organised, extremely disciplined. And that's him implementing the low block, which we seem to struggle against all season. Let's be real. And if we create opportunities and don't take them, and Forest go up the other end on the counter and create an opportunity and take that opportunity, that's where we could find ourselves a goal down and going on to lose the game, like we did last season to a Taiwo Awoni goal. It was a flat, pathetic display last season, which saw Thomas Partey playing at right back. Really? Really? Get out of it. And I've come to the point where I've come to the stage where I've reached breaking point with Mikel Arteta. I really have reached breaking point with him. You know, I was watching the FA Cup games and I felt so sick I couldn't watch any more of it, because I feel that we should be still in that tournament. We're good enough to be in that tournament, but we weren't good enough up top. Hence the reason why we were knocked out of the FA Cup by Liverpool. This season, we've regressed. Our football is not as fluent as last season. We're recently conceding set piece from goals. We're recently conceding set pieces from goals, and I'm not pleased with the fullbacks this season, and we've left ourselves in a right old pickle in this transfer window. We need players in, and these players that we needed, this whole matter should have been addressed in the summer. Let's be real. So before I get into my starting 11, the 9 substitutes I will go with, and the formation, do help me by showing me love, joy, and respect, yeah, by smashing the thumbs up like button for me, yeah? Smash those thumbs up like button for me in abundance, yeah? Make sure you do that. I'd really appreciate it, yeah? I'd also appreciate it if you share this channel virally all over the globe, especially to your friends and your relatives, yeah? Share this channel all over the globe. In the comment section, if you've got a score prediction, prediction of a corner, prediction of Mikel Arteta getting booked again, leave it in the comment section below where positive feedback belongs, yeah? And remember, just keep it nice but respectful. As far as I'm concerned, my comment section is for positive feedback only, yeah? And on top of that, lastly, make sure you do subscribe to the channel, yeah? Hit the sub button for me, yeah? Even though I've not deserved a single subscriber. But please, hopefully this is now a beginning of a new journey for me. So smash the subscribe button for me, left, right, and center, gloriously but passionately, yeah? My aim is to get to 1,000 subscribers, hopefully this year. So do smash the sub button for me, yeah? I'd really appreciate that. So let's get into it, yeah? My starting 11. It's a 4-3-3 formation, and if I'm picking a goalkeeper, which has been the area that has been not great, I'm gonna go with David Raya. I mean, I felt nervous every time I've seen him in between the sticks. And I spoke to a friend of mine, and he said to me, every time I see David Raya in goal and the opposition get into our half, he gets nervous. And you know what? I have to make him right. Because if he's faced with a situation on goal, you just don't know how quickly he's going to react, how quickly he's going to be on his toes. But I'm going to go with David Raya. I was tempted to go with Ramsdale, but I'm going to go with David Raya. Remember, this is the team that I will go with. Right back, I'm going to go with Benjamin White. He's not had the best of season in that position compared to last season. But because he's developed an understanding with Bukayo Saka, and he's got that understanding with Bukayo Saka, I still expect him to start this game. Defensively, he's been got at, as well as offensively, he's not produced the goods. But I do expect him to start at that position. My centre-half pairing, well, Gabriel dos Santos Magalhães is reported to be facing a late fitness test, along with Declan Rice. But I would go with William Saliba, who is our Rolls Royce, but even of recently, he's not had the best of games. Although the last game out, it was a rout without really being spectacular, if you get what I'm saying. But I'm going to go with William Saliba. Alongside him, if he's fit, Gabriel dos Santos Magalhães. For me, he's rugged, streetwise tough centre-back, and that's what we need. And agility in the air, very aggressive when he's up there, winning balls in the air, winning headers in the air. So for me, I want him starting this game. Left back, this is a difficult one here. If we are going to take the game to Nottingham Forest, then we go with Alexander Zinchenko. If we're going to play defensive, then you go with Jakub Kiwior. But I don't want to see Kiwior at left back because he doesn't offer us anything. He offers us very little on an offensive point of view. Defensively, he's lost in that position, and 1v1, he's not quick at all. I'm going to go with Alexander Zinchenko. Not to say that he's any better than Kiwior defensively. If anything, we're low with left backs. We haven't got no one to actually come in and do that job. Although Jurrien Timber's closing in on, well, he's closing in on a return, but it will be too soon to even include him on the bench. So I'm going to go with Alexander Zinchenko, who is good at inverting from that position into a midfield area where he's key. But again, I don't trust him defensively, but this is what we've got to work with. I'll go the midfield area. In the 6, playing in that pivot role, which is going to be important, Declan Rice. Provided he passes a late fitness test, he starts the game. And there's no other discussion. There's no other option other than him. He has to start the game if he passes a late fitness test. That's a big if. On the right hand side to him, I'm going to go with Martin Odegaard to start the game for me. He has something to prove. He's well, he could say I could say he has something to prove, but again, this is where he's going to be tested, because if a player gets tight to him while he has the ball, he's got to deliver the goods. It's up to him to take the game by the scruff of the neck, because I want to see a dominating performance from Martin Odegaard, which I've not seen from him at all, especially away from home in the league. Martin Odegaard starts. Kai Havertz on the left-hand side to Declan Rice. Now, that's the completion of the three. I'm going to go with Kai Havertz because of his physicality in that midfield. Not to say he's defensively as good as what Granit Xhaka was last season. But again, a bit of physical presence will help. But again, how much physical presence can you... well, he might look like a physical presence, but he's not physically the strongest of players. But again, I'm only going with the team that I'm going to go with. Ideally, I would go for Emile Smith-Rowe, but in case Forest want to mix it up, which they will do, we got to have a bit of physical presence. I mean, I'm talking about when we have the ball and when we don't have the ball. We've got to be equally aggressive as Forest are going to be tomorrow night. The front three, Bukayo Saka right wing forward. I mean, he's had enough rest, I believe. I believe he should be. Well, I believe he should be prepared for this game. Not an easy game, but we haven't seen the best of Saka all season. Really, he really hasn't lived up to the expectation of last season, and I want him on his best tomorrow evening. Bukayo Saka, right wing forward, left wing forward, should I say? I will go with Gabriel Martinelli. I mean, it seems to me when there is space, he is very dangerous. But without space, he's got to realise, even with space, he might look dangerous, but he's got to play with his head up, because there's times where he's run with the ball down. And 1v1 situations, he's normally impressive in the final third area, taking his fullback 1v1. But I want to see him do that. Even if Zinchenko is not going to overlap him, I want to see him go ahead and overtake. And I feel that deep down, you can see that he's missing Kieran Tierney, because he had someone who can overlap him, someone who could he could feed the ball off to get the crosses in if he's not going to beat his fullback 1v1. So Gabriel Martinelli might start this game for me. Up top, Gabriel Jesus. Now, despite his work rate all over the pitch, we want him in the box, really. And me wanting him in the box is one thing, but the reality is he has come out and publicly stated that he is not a clinical goal scorer. And I just don't know how we're going to get a striker with very little time left. We've got about 72 hours, or just less than 72 hours, to get a striker in. We have to make do with Gabriel Jesus and possibly to the summer, because I don't see Arsenal getting anyone. That's the impression I'm getting. A lot of PR merchants flying around Arsenal. That's all it is, just to get the fans excited and get them talking amongst themselves. This fan base. Anyway, enough about the fan base. Let me pick my substitution bench. That's the starting 11 done. For those of you that have just joined or are watching, I've picked my starting 11. My substitution bench. Aaron Ramsdale. He still has to warm the bench for me. I don't know if I can trust him as yet. The fact that he's come out and publicly done an interview with Ian Wright and confess that he can't concentrate for 90 minutes, that it is alarming. That is extremely alarming. And if he is to start tomorrow, well, then he's gonna have to be on his best concentration. But for me, I'll start him on the bench. Right, substitute number 2. Oh dear. I suppose I'm going to go with Cedric Suarez. The fact that he's not been moved on yet and he's still a valuable member of the squad based on his experience. That's the only reason why he's a valuable member of our squad. This is a guy who can occupy left back as well as right back, so I'm going to go with him. Jakub Kiwior starts on the bench for me. He has been occupied as a left back where that is not his position. He never was a left back. He was brought in as a centre half to play. And there's a possibility he might start instead of Gabriel due to the fact that Mr. Michaelis is holding an injury. If not, then he starts on the bench. Substitute number 4. Oh dear. Substitute number 4. Is it too soon to include Timber? Yeah, it probably will be too soon to include Timber. Substitute number 4. Oh, what's this youngster's name? Oh, goodness me. He's a right back. Oh, goodness me. Raul Walters, that's it. Raul Walters, if I pronounced his name right. He starts on the bench for me. A young rookie who's come out of the academy at Hale End. I mean, Project Youth, Arteta calls it, but I'm not seeing any youngsters playing any minutes or a single minute in the Premier League or in all competitions. I wonder why that is. The only youngster we saw in any competition was Sammy Junior Ago or Sago, whatever his name is. But again, I can't understand why he's going to be on. I can understand why he's on the bench due to the fact that we've got players injured and we've got a lack of squad depth. Substitute number 5. It'll be too soon for Mohamed El-Neni to even participate in this game. And he has just come back from the African Cup of Nations due to the fact that Egypt were knocked out yesterday evening. So substitute number 5, Jorginho. Valuable experience, which is true. Again, he's not a fan's favourite, nowhere near a fan's favourite, but I suppose with his experience, he makes the bench for me. Substitute number 6, Leandro Trossard. He's someone that can come on if you want to change the game. But again, depending on the formation change, which I don't see a formation change, he will come on and expect to produce a moment of magic. But depending on what time you bring him on. Substitute number 7, Emil Smith-Rowe. Smith-Rowe, for me, I think he's pushing to start ahead of Kai Havertz. And I was tempted to start him against Nottingham Forest. Should I say, I was tempted to start him instead of Kai Havertz. But in this fixture, because of the physicality that I predict that's going to come from this game, I'm going to go with Havertz instead of Smith-Rowe. Substitute number 8. Substitute number 8. You're going to go for substitute number 8. Reiss Nelson. That's my substitution number 8. He has got a new contract. We know he signed a new contract on thousands of pounds a week, but he's not getting enough game time, and I don't even understand why the club tied him to a new deal. If you ask me, if you ask me honestly, it never had made any sense. But he's a substitute number 8, and he's got to get minutes, or otherwise sell him in the summer. Substitute number 9, Eddie Nketiah. You all know how I feel about Eddie Nketiah. He needs to be moved on ASAP if we are going to move forward and if we are going to better the standards. Or in other words, if we're going to level up, Eddie Nketiah is not a substitution you want on your bench. Let's be real. Right. That's the substitution bench done, as well as my starting 11. The formation is a 4-3-3. Guys, let me know at home or wherever you are. What do you think of the starting 11 I've picked, the substitution bench, and my formation? If you think it's strong enough, if you think it's not strong enough or is strong enough, leave your thoughts in the comment section below. So what a pleasure it is to be back on this platform to give you another match day preview involving Arsenal Football Club. So ladies and gentlemen, to the boys, to the girls, so thank you for listening, thank you for tuning in, thank you for watching, and saving the best to last. So thank you so much for putting up with me for the first time in over a week. So do look after your friends, do look after your families, and make sure you look after yourself, which is important, especially if you're going to the City ground with your friends or your relatives, yeah? As Arsenal fans in the away section. More peace, more lovings, more blessings again. As your host, your guy himself from the heart. We're going to chat again, yeah? Do remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Do all of that for me, yeah? Especially if it helps grow the channel. And one more thing. Just remember to please be nice, yeah? I do mean be nice. Cheers.